Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I am working on a star quilt. Come along and let me show you how I do this. This is everything you will need to create one block. I start out by cutting 2.5-inch strips. I really like this ruler. This is 6.5 inches long and it works perfect for this project. I will try to remember to put a link to it in the description. I start out by cutting my 4-inch strips and then my 6-inch strips. Also, I want to add that I have an Etsy store, and I'll put the link on the screen here. If anybody needs a baby blanket, I'm getting quite a few in there, so I just wanted to make sure I added that to this video. And then out of the white, I'm going to need 4 4-inch squares and 8 2.5-inch squares. Each square will get added onto one of these blue rectangles and snowball the corner. I found with this block, I did not like chain piecing. I like to just do one block at a time so I don't mess it up. That's just how I work. That's how I can do it without making a mistake. And then I like to gather everything up and get it ready to take to the sewing machine all together like this. The main thing you need to remember with this block is the rectangle has to be tilted this way for the short ones. And when you do the longer, the 6-inch ones, you'll be turning it the opposite way, and I will show you how to do that. Also, I wanted to point out I was being a little lazy. I didn't want to iron these. You could fold them with your hand like this, finger press them, or I feel like with 2.5 inch squares, I can just do it and it works. This tool I love for certain projects, but it was a little inconvenient for this one. Now notice how I have this one turn the opposite direction. Now you want to take one of the smaller rectangles and put it right there and sew it down, the long side of the color facing the block. Once you get those four sewn on like that, you want to add the longer rectangle to the block, and you can tell the long side of the color to the block and just sew it on. If you notice that a side is really not even, you might want to even it up a little bit before you sew this block together. I just wanted to show how you line these two up to make sure they come out even. And then you just want to measure and make sure every one of your blocks are even. Mine were coming out to 11.5 inches. I like to do this with every one of my quilts, put them up on the design wall and play around with which one goes where and how I want to do I want to have a border, do I not want to have a border. It's just nice to have a design wall to make the final decision. This is such a fun star block to do. And if you watch any of my videos, you know that I always seem to go to the white border. I am cutting 2.5 inch strips that I will sew on for a border. And then I like to just double check, make sure everything is even, and then pin it down. Every time I sew a new piece on, it's so exciting to see what it starts to look like. I really like how this is starting to look. And now it is time to get it ready for quilting. I just wanted to show you the type of batting that I always buy from Amazon. I really like this kind. And then I like to sew down each square, and once I get that done, I like to do the angles both ways. And I start out by putting the ruler right there at 3 inches, and then every 3 inches thereafter I draw a line with my chalk. I was having trouble seeing the yellow, so I switched to pink with the chalk. There is something so relaxing about making a quilt. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy this part too, just hand sewing the binding on. You could sew it down with a machine, but I just like the look of this. And that is it. It is all done. That was so much fun to make, and it's really so easy. I hope you'll give it a try. Thank you for watching.